Welcome one, welcome all to the Right for California, another watch along after we did a watch along last night. We're back. Men's basketball right now, while I think Avi is switching back and forth between the men's basketball game and also the Washington State game. But here we are.
Yeah, we decided that, having a one-game winning streak was just too good for us. So let's stream a game against one of the 10 best teams in basketball right now.
Yep.
UCLA is shooting 80% from the field, 67% from three. They're out rebounding Cal 9-3. They have 10 assists to 4 assists.
Yep.
They have dominated the game, up 15, 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. Matt Bradley has 4 points.
Yep.
And Tisovic has 3 points and 2 fouls. And we are playing Clonaris.
Yep. Dimitrios.
That's where we're at right now.
I had a little bit more high hopes for today because of how we played against Arizona State.
Yeah.
But now that I'm looking at it, it might be that Arizona State just missed a lot of their shots and less than we played better.
Yeah, UCLA is moving the ball really well right now. It's just kind of hard if you're gonna actually run offense. Cal does not have the foot speed to keep up with UCLA's wings, particularly Smith, who's 3 for 3, 2 for 2 from three. Bernard and Riley each have 2 assists. Campbell has 3 assists. Like, they're just pretty unselfish basketball. Like, I think UCLA has 4 players with multiple assists already.
Yeah, this is one of those games where their offense has exploded. There's a few moments in this game already where defensively we weren't bad. It's just they were knocking down everything.
Right. Yeah, this one is just the exact reverse of the ASU game. Not really a lot to break down. ASU played, I think, a lot more tentatively, I think, in that game, whereas UCLA is just coming out guns blazing.
Well,
on the bright side, this could be a fairly quick one.
This could be over by halftime, but we'll see. 17-point game right now with 7 minutes left. 7:30 left. They just need to get a little bit too relaxed and start playing a little bit sloppy basketball, which they just did. And then it could change. We'll see. Gonna make sure I can tweet out our YouTube link. How are you feeling after last night, Avi?
Okay. I mean, it was a nice win. Still a lot of things we have to learn. And I think in terms of where the Bears are at, but they should feel fairly confident about their final 2 games. I mean, if they can just maintain the team they have. But yeah, I would say Cal still feel pretty confident, at least, that their chances of getting to 500 are pretty strong. And I don't know if a bowl is like in their sights because of just the limitations with regards to number of ball availabilities, but
the number of games we've played.
Yeah, I mean, 3-3 will not probably be enough to make a bowl this year, just unless there's like less availabilities in other conferences.
Yeah, the part that I'm getting the part that I'll be curious about is to see the biggest part about bowl games, I think, is the extra practices you get, and because that's huge. I do wonder how they're gonna play that this year. Where
it makes a little difference this year because the bowls are like a week after the season ends.
Well, I think you're probably right, but
yeah, most of the bowls I think are scheduled so the season ends on the 19th, and then the majority of bowls are from the 26th to the 1st. So you get maybe at most 10 days of practice, and probably less than that because of holidays and all that stuff. So
you don't actually have that 2 to 3 week gap before bowl games.
Yeah, honestly, I think I'd much rather just play another Pac-12 team. Just get 2 Pac-12 teams who are 500 and just schedule each other.
Yeah,
Like maybe that should be the workaround for a bunch of Pac-12 teams.
yeah. Maybe
Um,
Pac-12 should just have their like own like mini bowl games.
yeah, I
Like
mean,
create something, get something creative, and just get it started. Like we won't have played USC, and if USC doesn't make like a good bowl game, like that's a California matchup. I don't want that matchup, but I'm just saying like that could be one where it's like intrigue between two California schools that have played each other yearly. Um, you
just have
could
Cal play Stanford again. Let's get the X back.
you could do that. Uh, so there's a lot of things you can do creatively. I just don't know if the Pac-12 is gonna. I guess they could. I mean, they within a week span they allowed uh, out of conference games to be scheduled. So
Yeah, they can come up with something if as long as there's like a way for it to earn revenue for the conference. I mean, I don't envision like if there's like a way for the Pac-12 to even like earn like maybe like a few $100,000 and have it not like be a net loss for teams to travel from one place to another. They just might do something like a regional thing where it's like two schools that are close to each other who have like so and so many wins, and maybe even doesn't really matter how many wins they have. They may just be like, well, here's an extra game for prep.
that would be nice. I'm down for some more football. Like it's that weird thing of like I kind of want the season just to be over because I don't think we should be playing in a pandemic, but at the same time I'm like if you're going to play anyways, then get another game in. Like it's that weird. It's there's no satisfying for me like on either end of what I want. So
Yeah, I don't consider it very likely as Cal turns it over again.
I
Bears are
think
now
this game is getting out of hand.
Bears now have 6 turnovers, 2 of 7 from three. The 3-point shooting, Bears still shooting a lot from three, but again, just not getting them to nail any of them. That's a 20-point UCLA lead.
Uh,
Yeah. Who are the Bruins' best players? Who are the draftables on this team?
probably Tiger Hamilton. Who's their
Was
shooting guard?
DNP right now for Hamilton?
No, sorry, Tiger Campbell. Tiger Campbell.
No, he has 5 assists.
Yeah, he's their best player, and then probably Cody Riley and Chris Smith and Jules Bernard. Jules Bernard, I think, is a former 5-star. I think Tiger Campbell is actually a 4-star. Maybe he was 5-star. I know Cody Riley was a 5-star. Jalen
Yeah,
Hill also was a 5-star. So
turn over there. Let's say an easy Cal basket, but yeah, Bruins just right now kind of getting whatever shot they want, just because like they're able to get dribble penetration.
not only any shot they want, they're scoring anywhere they want to. Like every
Yeah,
single thing they take. Oh god, and that's a terrible, terrible move by Kwani. Man, he just can't be doing that, man. Can't be lowering your shoulder just straight into their chest. Like they're gonna call that a charge every single time.
yeah, just a lot of youth mistakes right now.
Uh,
Yeah, Bruins probably you'd say between them and Arizona State, the two Pac-12 favorites.
yep.
So you have UCLA, ASU, probably the top tier of the conference. Um, I believe. Oh yeah, pretty clear offensive foul. Um, between those two teams, who do you give the edge to in like a head-to-head matchup?
Between
Bruins and Sun Devils.
in a head-to-head, I'm gonna have to give it to UCLA. I still think ASU is probably the most talented team in the conference.
Hmm.
But their perimeter guys are still gelling. I think that's the big thing. Like Marcus and Josh, I think are the two most talented perimeter guys in the conference. But like they need to figure out something where either of them can be efficient. It's not like just one of them goes off and the other one kind of just is like waiting on the wings. Um,
Oh, I forgot to mention Oregon. I don't know why I did that.
I don't think Oregon's that great this year.
I mean, Eugene Amorui is looking pretty steadily.
They're big. They're the guy that makes them go is Chris Duarte, and if Duarte's not like doing his thing, that team doesn't go. So
Currently, they have the 4th-ranked offense in the country, or sorry, 9th. Close loss to Missouri, but beat Seton Hall.
oh, Dana
But,
Altman,
yeah.
you do what you got to do, Dana.
ASU has the 8th-ranked offense, so 2 good top 10 offenses in the pack, and then UCLA is 23rd right now.
Mm-hmm.
And looky at Stanford, 31st in Pomeroy right now.
Mm-hmm.
And their defense is actually what's guiding them 4th in the nation so far.
Yeah. God.
So it looks like that's your 4 tiers at this point. Those 4 teams will probably be competing for the conference crown, with a USC also kind of in the mix. Arizona not at that range. Everyone else kind of second tier beyond that.
Yeah, I mean Matt is just like that's the thing with us is like we go as Matt goes, and Matt has not gone at all this season.
Well, it's a problem if you're the only guy in the offense who can like create and produce, then it's pretty easy for defenses to kind of hone in on you.
Well, he's the only
So
guy that's averaging double-digit points, but like his efficiency has dropped significantly compared to last year and the year before.
yeah, last year, if I remember correctly, Cal did have a little more offensive versatility.
You think
At
they
least in
had
terms
more last year? I think they had less last year to be honest.
of,
Because they have more three shooters now, which can space the floor. Like last season,
well, they had
more,
point guard. They had Austin, right? So they had someone who could set the floor. So Bradley didn't have to be like the primary ball handler. This year, that we don't really have like a point guard we
yeah,
trust.
that is true.
And then Kareem South provides some rebounding. Obviously, it wasn't like a producer in any way, but yeah, like Joel Brown still has not like really stepped into like the primary point guard role. He's had some good moments, but his offense production is just not there.
Yep.
35-0 USC with 7 minutes to go in the second quarter.
35-0.
Yeah, Wazoo currently. Yeah, so it was 14-0, and then Washington State threw 2 picks inside their own 30, which led to 2 quick touchdowns, which blew this game wide open. But Deloria right now, let me try and pull up the stat line.
You mean Delora?
Delora, yes.
Oh, we are abysmal. We are an abysmal basketball team.
This is a tough matchup. Really, Cal is not set up to kind of handle this type of UCLA athleticism.
Like it's not even about like we're just outmatched. We're just like thoroughly outmatched from a schematic standpoint and from a talent standpoint.
Yeah, this one was we just have to D up and slow the pace down and try and make it manageable. I don't see a path to victory at this point, but we can.
Yeah, the only way is that we just come out firing from 3-point range and they just start missing. Like that's the only path to victory.
And they should start missing. Like this is an unsustainable rate UCLA scoring at, but oof, UCLA just
see
offensive rebound just taken away.
That's Tiger.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, well, UCLA starting to muck it up a little bit. I mean, that was expected. But yeah, quickly on Jaden Delora, 7 for 15, 62 yards, 2 interceptions.
Oh god.
He's been sacked 4 times, I think, as well. Keaton Slovis, 17 of 18, 209 yards, 5 touchdowns. USC has rushed for 5 yards and is up 35-0.
Well, I guess we know who's going to win MVP this year.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was the thing.
I mean, I think it was pretty much a foregone conclusion. It was going to be, what's his name? Not Jaden Daniels, Keaton Slovis.
I mean,
as
I
long as
guess
he produced, which he
yeah,
did.
I guess we did predict that, right?
Yeah.
We all predict Slovis would win this award. Who did we predict for defense?
We had a bunch of options. I don't know who. I don't know
I
who.
think it was Thibodeau, right?
Yeah, but Thibodeau has not performed
Yeah.
so
Actually,
far.
let me look up. Let me look up who's since this game is like out of hand right now. That's
Who
37-16.
leads the conference in sacks and interceptions?
Let's guess. Who do you think it is?
Sacks?
Yeah.
Hamilcar Rashid?
Is that the Oregon State guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me guess that too.
It's either he either leads
It
in sacks or
is.
tackles for loss.
He is not. He is not even.
He's not even close.
No, he's not even in the.
Top 5.
No. In sacks? No.
Yeah.
I don't, does he even have a pay interception?
No. He wouldn't have it. Outside linebackers getting interceptions are very, very tough.
He doesn't even have a sack.
Does he have tackles for loss?
He has 13 tackles on the season in 5
Oh,
games.
only 13. Oh, wow.
So he hasn't done much this all this year.
Okay. Who leads the conference in sacks?
Zion from Washington, 7 sacks.
Oh, yeah.
4 games.
Yep.
Not a name I've thought about that much, but that makes sense. But the leading tackler in the nation is also from Oregon State. It's Avery Roberts.
Oh.
Not in the nation, Pac-12, 65 tackles.
Who leads the conference in tackles for loss? I feel like Cam Good's probably up there.
He is second.
Yeah, that's what I
But
thought.
number 1 is from Carl Durrell's Colorado Buffaloes, Carson Wells, 10.5 tackles for loss.
How many is Cam at? Is that at 9 or 8?
8. He's tied with Nate Landman.
Okay. Wow, 2 guys from Colorado in the top 3.
Yeah, actually, Landman probably? No, he's probably in the mix.
Landman's in the mix because he has name value.
He has 8 tackles for loss, 4 sacks. Let me see if he has any interceptions.
Okay. The Bears 2 quick threes back to back and drop it down to 15. Mikhail Foreman lighting it up.
It's the screw it offense.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Mikhail Foreman, like as a shooter. It's just he's not great as a ball handler. I love it when he gets like off of screens and runs little curls and gets the catch and shoot and he's open. He's very good at getting open without the ball in his hands. It's just he's a little bit too crazy when he does have the ball. So
it's that Steph Curry effect. Everyone practicing those pull-up threes. And on the second one is basically the Steph Curry option.
Yep, just he like ran to the side and then just chucked it and got it to go.
Yeah. Foreman now leading Cal with 6 points on 2 of 3 shooting.
All right, back to some football. Do you think are there any Cal guys in the mix?
For defensive player of the year?
Yeah.
No.
Is there anyone in the top other than Cam Good in the top 2 for tackles for loss? Are we in any other statistical category like in the top 5?
I would imagine. Well, sacks. Cal is Good has 3 sacks. He's 7th right now. Tackles for loss, Good is tied for 2nd, so he has 8 there. So Good has a small chance, I would say. I imagine Landman is probably the favorite. Maybe Robert.
Especially because they're winning too. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine Nate Landman's going to win the award,
yeah.
Which is pretty remarkable. Colorado did not have a good defense the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Interceptions. Yeah, no one in the conference has more than 2 picks, which is kind of reminds us that like the Pac-12 has not had a good defensive play. I guess. Well, Talanoa Hufanaga has had 2 interceptions in this game, so he's going to move up to 4 picks. But I don't imagine USC is going to, unless they win the conference.
Also, unless he explodes up to like maybe 6 or 7 picks.
Yeah.
Then yeah, but for now, no.
Josh Drayden though has 5 passes defended, 2nd in the conference behind Isaiah Lewis, also from Colorado. These buffs.
Josh Drayden might actually make an All Pac-12 team.
He's been good. He should be the best best nickel in the conference. If they do the nickel sort of thing.
He might have played as our best corner this year too, so far.
Cal's moving to a zone defense.
Yep.
Trying.
Jimmy Chitwood for 3 joins us. He says, "Hey Jets."
Hey,
He says, Cam Good should be in the conversation. In the conversation, sure. Likely to win, not. He'll be talked about at least just from his performance this season.
yep.
What's his other
And
thing? I'm still peeved at Hyder's positively inexplicable waiver now. Well, I know the NCAA, John Goodman tweeted it out that the NCAA is going to have a meeting, I think, next week about potentially just opening up all transfers and letting them play.
I imagine that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. So if that's because we're not the only ones that got screwed over by this rule. I think a bunch of teams have some high profile transfers that didn't get accepted in terms of their waivers, but then a whole bunch of other teams did get their waivers. So
Right.
it's all over the place. So I think they're gonna open it up to everybody. I would assume that they would. If this year doesn't count towards eligibility anyways, there's no reason not to let the transfers play.
Bradley just got run over and no call was made.
Yep.
And
Mark
UCLA
Fox
gets a
pissed.
3.
And we're going to have time. I mean, if this team gets Hyder, I won't say we're going to like vault up, but our projections of our offense gets a little bit better because we add a legitimate point guard who can handle the ball and is very good at shooting the 3. Halftime.
It is 40-22 UCLA. Bruins. Pretty much a perfect half of basketball from them. They, if I'm looking at these splits correct, shoot 70% from the field, 75% from 3. 15 assists on 23 made baskets. That is excellent. They out rebound Cal 17-7, which is kind of crazy because, well, actually not that crazy because Cal missed a bunch of shots, but Cal shot 38% from the field, 9-24, 4 of 14 from 3. Bears really living or dying by the 3 right now because they're 50% on 2s, but that is obviously the 3-point discrepancy is screwing that up.
Yep.
Both teams have forced 8 turnovers. UCLA has 7 points off turnovers. Cal is only 5. And yeah, basically going as expected. Bears overmatched in the poly right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at Jared Hyder's KenPom stats. Offensive rating of 93.6, was a starter. Started at point guard over 82%.
I mean, we need a point guard, so we just need Hyder because like right now, Cal's offense for half court offense is just a lot of like.
He had 19.8% of the possession, took about 18.5% of the shots at Fresno State.
Yeah.
Had an assist rate of 20.4. That's huge. And then he's not a fouler either. I guess he doesn't take that many risks when he goes to. And then free throw shooter, he's a 83% free throw shooter on 54 attempts. He was a 30% 3-point shooter on 96 attempts and 44% from the field overall. That's kind of the guy we need.
Yeah, someone who can set the pace, someone who doesn't let the offense flow away from them. Like I think the moment Cal fell behind by double digits, they started accelerating.
Yep.
In terms of how many possessions they played. 31 possessions in that first half. Not a lot, but a lot. I think probably a little bit more than Cal wanted to play at.
Yep.
They definitely do not want to give up 80 points in a half, or 80 points. Be on pace for giving up 80 points in the game.
Yep.
Like last year, I think when Cal played UCLA, the final score was 50-40, which is just perfect Mark Fox basketball. And I think the Bears had, if I'm looking at this correctly, 56 shot attempts in the game. Actually, I guess it's about the same pace, but just tonight UCLA is just making way more shots.
Yeah, KenPom has us expected to lose 71-60 at a win percentage of 16%. This right now feels like it's going to be more than that.
It could be go on pace. I imagine at some point UCLA will throw off the dogs sometime midway through the second half.
The crazy part is that we're like a top 80 defense.
Yeah, but, I mean that's
How
good.
did like how does that work? How are we like I guess it basically means that we're just not scoring enough.
I mean, all metrics get thrown off when you give up 70% from three. Like you're not going to have a normal game if you're giving up 75% of your 3 pointers. Um, so just imagine that that's going to regress back, and probably UCLA will score like 30 points in the second half,
Oh,
or they keep on shooting like this and we get blasted, which is wouldn't be the worst result.
it's like an 80-40, and it's just this is a game that just gets thrown out the window because there was nothing we could do.
Yeah,
Because no matter what we did, they scored everything.
Cal is playing Pepperdine later this week, so they're going to stay in LA, I guess, for a couple
Yeah,
days.
they're staying in LA until I think Wednesday or Tuesday. I don't remember when they play.
Then they're going to play the best team in the North Bay in University of San Francisco. That's North University of San Francisco obviously upset Virginia earlier this week. And then they play Boston College to wrap up non-conference play. All the games Cal is projected to lose, which is really sad to hear Cal is projected to lose to the University of San Francisco at home.
Yep.
But they actually, I'm looking at their. It's weird. They lost to UMass Lowell, and yeah, they look West Coast Conference contender-ish, or at least if they had more than two bids. But yeah, if they can like sneak past St. Mary's, who knows? That should be enough of a resume builder for them,
Yeah.
and maybe sneak one against Gonzaga.
Can you sneak one against Gonzaga though? Like I watched their first game and I'm like, this I don't feel like this team is beatable. Like you would need a lot of luck. You would need to basically shoot like UCLA is doing right now, I think, to have a shot at beating Gonzaga.
Yeah, beat West Virginia 87-82, beat Kansas. Yeah, this team looks pretty monstrous this year.
I think that's even more so why people were upset that the Baylor Gonzaga game was canceled.
Oh yeah, I mean they can basketball's easier to reschedule, so I imagine they'll try and make that happen later this year. But wait, Gonzaga and BYU are in the same conference, right? Oh, Baylor. Sorry.
No, Baylor and Gonzaga?
No, you're right. You're right.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Gonzaga and Baylor would yeah, if I'm looking at the schedule,
It would have been
I
the
mean they
1-2 matchup. Like
yeah,
in an out of conference game.
I could see them rescheduling that game for maybe like middle of like end of January or something when, they're both like oh sorry, Baylor's in the Big 12, so that's probably not gonna happen. So maybe they could try and do it during Christmas time. Because yeah, Gonzaga has like the next 4 games are against teams under like Tarleton State, Northern Arizona, Idaho, Southern. Just win probability of 99.8%. So looking at Cal, well, let's see. No questions in the chat. Let me see if I can get some people on here.
Draw them in with the retweets.
Yeah, right now I have 2 viewers, basically. Everyone. Washington State scores. It's 35-7 with 28 seconds left in the first half. I'm hoping Wazoo makes a game of it. But yeah, they have been totally outmatched so far. So I would imagine Cal has to feel pretty good after watching this game that they go into Pullman and win the snowball,
Mm-hmm.
the snowstorm bowl,
The
potentially.
snow in the Palouse.
Indeed. Well, snowstorm because it's supposed to be snow and rain showers.
Yeah. Did you see my tweet of the forecast?
Oh yeah.
Lovely.
Washington State. They make the extra point. They did miss the extra point. Classic.
It's
35-6.
one of those days. Yeah, it's 36 degrees. It's expected to be 36 degrees in Pullman during the day, 32 at night, with estimated winds to be about 9 miles per hour at night, with about 50% chance of snow from 1 to 3 inches.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be tough sledding for Cal is really good at handling a lot of adverse environments, but I can't remember the last time we played in the snow.
Yeah, sunset's at 4 p.m. by the way, so we're kicking off in the dead of night.
Yeah, it's brutal. Wazoo is gonna just have the side advantage because of that. On the flip side, Wazoo kind of needs their vertical passing game to get anything going. So I kind of even as bad as Cal's run game has been, I have a hard time imagining that we can't be more effective with the way we play offense. Because that's a game that's designed for short intermediate passing. It's not you don't really want to go 35 yards downfield. Nick asks on Twitter, is the defense as bad as the numbers indicate? A little bit. It's not great.
Well, what I was gonna say was I don't think so to the extent that they're bad. Like there are moments where they had lapses, but there were also moments where we had decent defense. They're just making everything. Like I don't know if you can say that to open looks. There are a couple of tough jumpers that they took and they drained. So
I would say the ball movement has been pretty crucial, and then just the unsustainable 3-point shooting. And saw some people just joined. If you have any questions about Cal, about the game last night against Oregon, about this game against UCLA, about Wazoo coming up, or about just general Cal Bear stuff, we are here for the next hour or so, or until Rob and I give up on this game.
I don't know how I feel right now. I don't know how I should be feeling right now. I'm still elated after that Oregon win. So I'm still confused as to how we won, but I was told Zach Angelillo tweeted at me because on my tweet where I said, "How did we win this game?" and his response was grit. That was it. It was just grit. Period. I said, "Yeah, you're right. You're pretty right."
Yeah, it sure wasn't an offensive play calling mastermind-ish. It was.
We didn't blow them out of the water, that's for sure. But yeah, a win's a win, and we did it. We did enough.
Yeah, great win for Cal. About time we got one back from the Karma Gods. After
4 weeks of the Karma Gods.
Yeah,
but they gifted us this.
Maybe he'll flip back. Cal will play. Washington State is definitely probably going to be a dead even matchup just because of the conditions, but I don't think Cal should fear playing Washington State.
Yep. They've also not been 100% healthy either because guys have had COVID.
Yeah, 30 players got COVID, and
Yeah.
they're not going to be the team that
And
they
like
want to be.
who knows how many of them like had symptoms too, right? Like we
Right.
don't know that.
Right. Washington State, I think, has one win against Oregon State this year, and yeah, they've lost. They've lost the rest of their games.
Man.
Oh no, yeah, they beat Oregon State 38-28 in one of the weirdest football games I've ever watched, and then they lost to Oregon, and they haven't played football in 3 weeks.
I don't even know how I should prep myself for that Washington State game. Like, is that a game where I should be like bundled up in a blanket, like with hot chocolate, or should I like be, you know, going out full out game day and like getting wings and getting ready to go?
I was thinking just fly out to Hawaii and just like stream from the beach.
You know, you like can't actually like just go to Hawaii right now. It's like
Yeah,
you have to take like a $200 test before you go. And
right.
like it's like yeah, there's some crazy restrictions.
Well, privilege finds a way. So I know you have it in you.
You saying I'm privileged?
No, I'm just saying, like,
You as in people?
yeah, people. There's a way. There's a way that can be done. It can be done.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Cal grads are extremely privileged. We have the opportunities to find ways to get around things if we wanted to.
As they show Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Bill Walton in the
Bill
cutout.
Walton is announcing this game.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he plays it pretty straight on the Pac-12 network because the Pac-12 just robs us of all joy and excitement.
He's also like, there's no crowd like that he can feed off of. He's just like standing there in like an isolated cube with like a headset on. Like he doesn't even really get to interact with Ted Robinson. He's not even the best with Ted Robinson. I think, oh goodness, oh thank God. No, the clock didn't start, so it robbed UCLA of a starting layup.
Did they just not notice that?
I think the refs just didn't. I don't know what happened, but either way, UCLA you can't give them the layup because the clock never started.
Yeah, definitely not.
You just start from. What does UCLA have to lose? Like one layup isn't going to make much of a difference in this game. You just let it go.
These Pac-12 refs look like Screen Actor Guild like
extras.
Extras, yeah. They do not look like refs. Well, we're gonna get to a quick offensive highlight package. Let's see Cal play a little bit of zone. UCLA busts that. Let's see Cal play a little bit of man-to-man. UCLA just cuts and gets the rim. You'll say more zone. And yeah, just slow anticipation from the Bears. I mean, they're just like really slow today. But mostly just good shot making. Really nothing you can do about good shot making.
Yep.
So Cal, let's take a look at the schedule just real quick because they're taking forever to figure out what's wrong with the clock.
Jesus, what's their 3-point percentage so far this game? They're shooting 75% from three.
You're not listening to me. I literally said that 3 times.
I thought you were talking about their field goal percentage. I didn't think it was their 3-point percentage.
So it was both.
Yeah, it is both.
I mean, UCLA this season. I mean, this is kind of an aberration. They're shooting 32% from 3 this year.
Yeah, they're not a good 3-point shooting team this year.
But today they were just like, we got to wake up. Yeah, UCLA lost to San Diego State to start the year. Again, I don't know how San Diego State does it, but they're still like somehow the best team in California.
Also, I have to say, why do these ref uniforms look like onesie swimsuits? Like they look like bodysuits.
It looks like the hockey refs from Batman and Robin.
Like it's such a weird like color and design. Like, why
Well,
did the stripes only go up to like where the neck is, and like it's like
we had we had
V
to
down?
spend that
That's weird.
we had to spend that Pac-12 money somewhere.
And like the refs don't even have masks on. Like,
Um, let's see. So UCLA, yeah, looking at the five factors, decent offense, but not to this level for sure.
wait, I don't understand. They ran an entire play set, and the refs had no idea that the clock wasn't running. All three refs did not realize the clocks weren't running until he made the layup, and Cal looks up at the clock, and it still has that red marker all over the backboard. And he like points to the ref. How did they not realize the clock's not on?
I mean, well, I think they should just keep on figuring this out because Lord knows we will need to watch more of this game.
Mark Fox just sitting there with shaking his head. Oh, this is great. This is great, guys. Absolutely great.
So the Mountain West is doing something interesting this year. They're playing this kind of weird schedule hybrid set where it's like they play they play Nevada so San Diego State will play UNLV twice at home against Nevada, and then they'll play at UNLV twice in 3 days.
So they're kind of like doing like a mini bubble like every week where you just stay and play against them twice.
Well, it's like baseball, right? It's like the baseball.
Oh yeah, like the baseball schedule. Yeah.
I heard the NBA was thinking about that.
It's very unique because that gets you get accustomed to playing a specific opponent, right?
Right.
As Grant knocks down the corner three. That's the shot we want.
UCLA coming out in man-to-man. And basically some overbiting there by the Bruins.
Yep. And Joel with a really good Joel with a really good penetration there to kick it out. Smart move.
If Cal's gonna make a run, they gotta do it right now. Nice defense by Kelly, but
just
cannot get the rebound.
Ryan Bentley got outmuscled by Jules Bernard.
Yeah,
that's get inside positioning.
That's a tough matchup for Bentley.
Yeah. Grad transfer versus a 4-star or 5-star recruit. Tough.
Taking a quick look at the NBA draft board for 2021. Let's see where the UCLA grads line up.
Well, this is the interesting part of this game that I wanted to see was how many of the UCLA guys would be wearing non-Under Armour shoes.
Ah, of course. Rob Brand is on the case.
1, 2. Currently on the court. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of the 5 guys are wearing non-Under Armour shoes.
The transition has begun.
Yeah, and their jerseys don't have the Under Armour mark anywhere.
Nice little find to Kelly in the middle.
Oh, Matt Bradley. Oh, that is filthy.
Well, UCLA still sustaining the pace of, let me look at the numbers again. 75%, 64% shooting, so it's gone down a little bit.
Bears going man-to-man.
Cal's starting to ramp it up a little bit offensively.
Good D. Great D. Oh, terrible rebound. Oh, and a stupid foul call. I hate it. Yeah, Bentley is getting destroyed.
Yeah, rough night for Bentley.
He can't get any offensive rhythm, nor can he beat any guy defensively. So
yeah, I mean, this is the issue when you go from the Ivy League to playing actual
just certain skills transfer, which is 3-point shooting transfers, but everything else kind of not really.
It's the Dwight Tarwater paradox, right? It's like he can hit threes, but you ask him to defend a future NBA draft pick, it's a little bit tougher.
I mean, Grant Mullins was not bad. I think he's the anomaly. He was pretty decent defensively too, and he
Yep.
shot the three well.
Yeah.
And as we say that, Bentley knocks down a layup. The Bears are down 16. They're coming alive. I was like, wait, did I do my math wrong? Are they actually down 26 and not 16? I had to look up the score again.
I mean, Bentley is like, I mean, he has the offensive game where he's like able to get penetration if you set him up right. Because like you have to respect his jump shot. The issue is just like on defense, he's just always like good on the ball, but tough. He has a tougher ability to react offside of it.
And he's fouled. Lars.
So better defense from Cal. I mean, like UCLA is definitely getting good shots, but they're definitely more contesting by the Bears. And yeah, Bradley getting to the rim. Yeah, Cal, I think they were settling for threes, like instead of getting into the flow of the offense in the first half. So definitely it's just much harder for Cal to like just step into jumpers and try and shoot. Looks like they're being a little bit more aggressive to find looks.
Well, Matt goes 1 of 2 from the line.
Bradley is now 3 of 8 on the game. Still has not hit a three. And I think this season, what is Bradley's stats from three this season? He is currently shooting 5 for 21 from three. So now he's 5 for 23, which is, I believe, 22%. That is.
Oh my god, they're just running the pick and roll all day.
I mean, if Lars is in the game, that's basically what I do every time. There's no way Lars can. There's no way Lars can stay with the UCLA bigs.
No, Ryan. Sorry, Ryan. Man.
Tiger Campbell with 8 assists. It's been a clinic from him.
He's good, man. He is really good.
Now you can tell, like the rest of the team, like kind of feeds off of that unselfishness. Mm-hmm. Campbell, like setting the pace. Everyone is just getting into this like pass first.
Well, and like it's just he's like their hype man because he'll throw like the beautiful lob pass for those like
two
dunks, and it's like
2 beautiful lobs in a row. Yeah. That's 3 lobs in this half. Yeah, Lars can't play in this game. They gotta get him out. This is just like a bad matchup for him. I mean, they're gonna run the same. They're gonna run the same action again. Like as long as Lars is in the game, they're going to,
they're running the pick and roll, and then Lars isn't. He's not hedging, nor is he tracking back fast enough.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's not like he's not going to defend like talented like big men. It's just
like he's doing
anyone who can rim run. It's just like not in his skill set.
Yeah, his foot speed's not there to be able to catch up with him. He can be the anchor of a 23 or 32 defense, but.
We have a commenter.
Who is it? Oh,
I wouldn't say that. I would say UCLA is really good.
Yeah, if Avi is saying that we're not bad, that means a lot. Because Avi would say like, oh, we like suck, but I don't think we suck.
I think we're exactly where we thought we'd be.
Yep.
We went into this game not expecting Cal to win. And Cal is not winning. But yeah, UCLA 21 of 33 from the field right now. I mean, you're just not going to beat anyone giving up 64%. 22 points in the paint for the Bruins now. 1.4 points per possession. Cal's currently at 0.8. Again.
0.8?
0.84. But yeah, 14 scores on 38 possessions.
Wasn't that kind of what we were at last year? That was like 0.88 or something like that. That was like the season average.
Something like that. Yeah, right now, Our adjusted efficiency is I think 98 points per 98.7.
Are we even
So I
going to
think
break 50?
I think so. I still think UCLA will call it off in like a couple. This game goes the way it's going for another 5 minutes or so.
It's like not even competitive.
Well, Bradley has made 3 shots. Bedley has made 3 shots. I mean, Cal's ranked up to 3-point shooting a little bit, but they are still 5 for 16 from three. Zero. This is actually a pretty important stat. UCLA has 5 offensive rebounds. Cal has 0.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I think Hill is doing that for them.
Hill has 2.
Dude's athletic and bouncy as hell at that center spot.
Yeah, Hill has 2. 6 rebounds in the game. 8 points.
Yes, yeah. They took Lars out. They put DJ in, which makes more sense because
Yeah, just play small.
DJ is our only athletic center, and McHale knocks down the 3.
Yeah, Cal just those Lars minutes are gonna be just like you're gonna look back at those. If Cal somehow makes a comeback, they're gonna look back at like the Lars splits and be
Yeah, we shouldn't have
slightly
played.
hard.
That's why we lost.
I mean, everyone in this game has been pretty bad, so I'm not gonna put it on Lars, but
No, I mean I've said it like in our previous games. It's like after game 2, there was a thing of you can't argue for more Lars minutes because he's not playing up to par.
yeah,
He
not
hasn't
against
taken
this
that
team.
leap forward, and not against any team right now. I think he hasn't shown any improvement whatsoever. I don't think you can like
I think you can play him against
what, like a Utah.
yeah, like anyone who's like not in the upper echelon, like anyone who doesn't have like a NBA draft pick or like a 4-star quality like 6'8" wing who can run rim.
Or even
'Cause,
at a
those are hard to
athletic
find by.
center.
Yeah,
That's a bad pass for McHale.
yeah. I mean, Lars could play against Stanford. Like Stanford is not like a team that would punish him in that
You don't
way.
think De Silva would punish him and he'd get in foul trouble?
I mean, yeah, that way, but he wouldn't get like destroyed at the rim like every play. And
Right, right.
wow, that was
I mean,
just
I'm just saying, like, I don't think there's not a specific opponent, and if that is the only time that Lars can play, that I don't think that means he's a Power 5 player.
I mean, he barely. What was his recruiting status?
He's just an international kid. He didn't have
Yeah,
a ranking or anything.
yeah. I think he's one of those international projects that you hope like pans out and learns like how to play over time. But I just don't know if the foot speed's there.
I mean, the biggest thing for Lars is that he couldn't catch the ball in traffic. Like they would throw the ball to him like on pick and rolls, and he has the size. It's just they just can't do anything with it. He just couldn't catch the ball, and that
Yeah,
kind of showed today too.
yeah. Cal's just throwing out lineups that I don't think I've seen much this year. Just try and see if they get something going. Defense has, I mean, like in some ways has been better, but they just can't finish off possessions.
Well, it was fun early in the year when they were like running motion off of screens and stuff like that, and off the wing, and they're doing that today too. They're just not making their shots.
Back down to 3 commenters. One of those is Sean. He's asking what's happening.
We're losing in basketball. Matt Bradley just cannot.
You think we can pull off the comeback?
14 points.
It's within our means.
Or actually 16 points. That's a foul.
Wow, everyone's abandoned ship.
Yeah.
Really is the toughest time to go up against. It's really the toughest time to like stream stuff because like everything is up against the NFL.
How is that I don't get how that's a foul. I absolutely do not get how that's a foul. Matt has every right to be there.
Well, I mean, if you in maybe the court of legal law, but in Pac-12 law,
Uh, I am exhausted. Do I have to rewrite my analysis article of the ASU and UCLA game?
who knows? Who's writing the recap?
It's me.
Yeah,
Well, I signed up for the recap for the ASU and UCLA game, and I basically, since it was the same week, I just wanted to wrap it into one post, so then I'll post it on Tuesday. So, uh, okay, we'll see. We'll see how
Question
this.
from Sean: is the game 6 going to be a
Matt
road game?
from 3.
All right. It's nice, motion off ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
Football question, gentlemen: is the game 6 going to be a road game with shelter in place? That's a very good question.
I don't know. It sounded like the city of Berkeley was okay with us practicing this week.
I don't know if they'll be okay with a game though. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we could probably end up against the South team elsewhere.
Justin, I mean, yeah, I don't think we'll know about the game. I don't think they'll cross that bridge when they get there. Let's get past the Washington State game and then figure out who we're supposed to play, and they might switch it up depending on who it is, or they might just move the game too.
Yeah, I do know if Washington does not make the Pac-12 title game, I think they're going to play the Apple Cup. So that might well, they're going to try to. I don't know if that's going to happen, but because that game didn't happen, they're going to try to make that happen.
Was there any rivalry game in the South that didn't happen this year so far?
No, Territorial Cup is this week. UCLA USC is this week, and Colorado and Utah I think is also this week. So I think they're all playing.
Oh, they're all playing. Okay,
they're all playing each other this week. So yeah, that'd be the only major rivalry game that hasn't taken place.
Yeah, that means the Pac-12 South schools probably have to play each other one more time.
Yeah. So yeah, I think. Yeah. So if Washington plays Washington State, that would kind of mess up the North versus South seedings. So at least two South teams have to play each other. And I'm sure you could find some permutation of the teams that ASU hasn't played, so that might happen that way. So ASU would play another Pac-12 South team, maybe Utah. I think ASU and Utah haven't played each other.
That game got canceled, right?
Yeah, and those two teams hate each other, so that's just a perfect way for them to end the season. So ASU and Utah, and then I guess Cal will have the option of Arizona or Colorado if it came down to that. And then Oregon State would play. Yeah, Oregon State would have their pick, I guess, and then so would Stanford.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I mean, if it aligns perfectly where they're playing a team that's not in the state, they'll just move it. Not in California, they'll just move it to the other state. Right? The game.
Yeah. I mean, it really doesn't matter where we play. I think the from what I've heard, the Pac-12 wants to play all their games either on Friday or Saturday.
Well, Friday is the championship game, and then Saturday is the day they have originally scheduled for all of the other games.
Okay, so they might play those games on Saturday. And I would guess that, yeah, I don't know. Are the other conferences playing another game?
No, I think their championship. I think it's the same championship week.
No, Big Ten is playing, I think, another game. Every Big Ten team will play, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if the Big 12 is, though.
Mikhail Foreman knocks down a 3, and the Bears are within 14. Oh, God. All right, I will only get really, really hyped if we can get it under 10. Until we can get it under 10, I'll yell every time we make a 3, but...
Yeah, I mean, Cal's doing exactly what they should. Just nail threes and play D. That's basically the only way back right now.
3 and D. Rebound. Dimitrios.
Dimitrios getting the early sightings.
Yeah. He has the size. I think that's the big thing with him.
Well, he's a wing.
Yeah.
You need to play wings against UCLA.
And I think Bowser would probably play if he was healthy, but I don't think he is.
Yeah.
No foul call there. Okay, and Andre really forced that. I don't want him to force that.
Yeah, right now just a lot of. So what Cal's doing right now is just a lot of I wouldn't say four corners offense, but very much like pass around the. Because we
Yep.
don't have like a dribble penetrator. It's like we're just like trying to find like an open hole spot inside the post.
Well,
And
especially with Matt out.
yeah. Oh right, because like no Bradley, this is basically your
Yeah.
try and survive offense.
This is your Mikhail Foreman and Ryan Bentley launch as many threes as we possibly can. Oh, and one
Ideally,
by Joel Brown. And one, baby. Let's do this.
well,
uh,
that was nice action. Yeah, see, UCLA put their UCLA took their foot off the pedal, and here come the Bears.
Here come the Bears.
Yeah, Bradley with 8 points in the second half. Foreman with 2 threes. Joel Brown gets that and one. Yeah, this is a
Misses the free throw.
12-point game.
And just as we say that, we bleed a layup.
UCLA is now matched their points in the paint in the first half. They had 14 in the first half. They have 14 in 10 minutes in the second half.
That's the same play that got them the layup to start the half. That didn't count, and that's
I
that
mean,
they ran for Tiger Campbell.
don't go away from what works, right? That was just miscommunication. Like someone's got to pick up Campbell.
High screen and roll. What are you gonna do
I
with
mean,
it? Split
you
the
got
D. Mikhail misses. Jump ball. I think arrow is to the Bears. Yep. Well, Johnny hasn't played at all today. That's surprising.
at some point, hopefully in my lifetime, Cal will get a big who can like shoot jumpers.
What, you didn't like
Because
David Kravish?
sorry, threes.
That's a foul, and Dimitrios is headed to the line.
Because it's like really hard to win like I think modern basketball without like having someone who can stretch. Sean mentions ACC is playing other games too. If the Bears get to 3-3, we won't grab an empty ball game. Oh, Sean with the inside scoop.
Yeah, I don't think
Okay.
we get there. I think there's enough teams out there that will probably get to, because there's no minimum for bowl games.
Yeah.
I think that they would definitely take it, and that's an indictment not on Cal, but more of the how the college football scene just views the Pac-12.
I mean, the original concept was the Pac-12 was going to play in the spring, right? Because
Yeah.
they thought the Big Ten would go along with that, but then they realized. But then Ohio State and Nebraska started making a fuss because like Ohio State went to get their playoff money, and Nebraska wanted to play football and then lose a lot. So
How is that an and one? The heck? What? Uh,
just a quick update: Washington State tried to attempt an onside kick to start the second half. That failed. USC kicked the field goal, and then Washington State just turned it over again. It is 38-6.
did
Cal's
Washington,
next opponent has
did
6
Washington
points.
State play last week?
They haven't played in almost a month.
Yeah, they're
Their
playing.
last game was against Oregon.
I guess they're basically playing like a team that hasn't played in a month.
Yeah, I mean they look a lot like. I mean they look worse than ASU, um, who played pretty much one of the worst halves of basketball football that I've ever seen against UCLA, and then played another terrible half where they should have scored like 30 points, but ended up with like 15 and lost to the Bruins.
Oh,
Speaking of Bruins,
Lars, great steal. I like it. Got inside positioning and then went back outside to because he knew the repost was coming.
yeah, if you ask Lars to play straight man, he's good. He's good.
Oh, Dimitrios with the block, and they call a stupid foul on him. That's just dumb. I'm upset.
Yeah, but that was set up by a bad post entry pass.
Where's the foul, ref? What is the foul?
Mark Fox is sitting Bradley an awful long time.
Is he not right? Or does he not want to play starters anymore?
I mean, there's still 8 minutes left in this game. Bradley has only played 23 minutes. Like, if you're gonna try and steal this game, you should put Bradley back in the game.
You're down 15.
Yeah, Bradley's still sitting on the bench. He has one foul, 5 for 12. I don't get this. He should be in the game.
Maybe it's a thing of I don't know. Maybe he's upset with Matt for the shots he's taken.
He's 5 for 12.
I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there to see what it might be.
I mean, 15 point game. Yep, still no Bradley. We're gonna play with mostly backups right now. I mean,
Airballs a 3. My God. And they go with the alley oop dunk on the other end. Oh yeah, this game's over, guys. We're not coming back.
wow.
And he nails a covered 3 in the corner. Like what? It's what?
I mean, this game is not like it's not out of reach. It's just like in that annoying 14-point range where
It just doesn't end. It's just not going away.
I'll let Rob field this question because I don't really have an opinion.
Well, let me change the score first. And we'll get to it. What's the question? Who do you want as the new apparel sponsor for Cal? Oh, being a shoe aficionado myself, I would. My dream would be Jordan. I think that's like the dream scenario. I highly doubt it, but I'm sure we still have good connections to the brand just because our basketball team was Jordan Brand, and we were the only West Coast basketball team that had Jordan Brand when we had Jordan Brand.
Yeah.
So we might still be in their good graces. It's tough because the schools that Jordan Brand has under their scholarship or under their sponsorship right now are very, very marquee athletic programs. Michigan, Oklahoma, Florida, like those are not only are they good in one sport, they're good in both sports, like or at least two of their big main sports, which is men's basketball and football. So let me just double check what other colleges. So they also rep North Carolina, of course, yes, Georgetown, Marquette, Houston, and now San Diego State. Okay, so San Diego State is now the only West Coast Jordan school, which I think makes sense because they're a great basketball school. So I don't think that's going to happen. So I guess the realistic thing here is I don't think we'll go back to Nike, at least not immediately. We might have conversations with them, but I think it will probably be Nike if we get to those conversations, right? We have to get out of the UA contract first. But so who does that leave? Beast Mode. Beast Mode and Lululemon. That's the dream. No, I think it's got to be Adidas. I think it's the right choice. It's the smart choice. I've been every time I talk to someone about this, I'm like, it just makes so much sense. Aaron Rodgers, Keenan Allen, Jaylen Brown,
yeah,
all Adidas athletes currently. it just makes so much sense from a marketing standpoint. For crying out loud, the locker room at Memorial Stadium is the Aaron Rodgers locker room. Just put Adidas branding right under his name in the locker room. Like, there you go. Make everything Adidas. And like, it'd be cool to have Adidas too, because they're releasing so much college apparel and like limited edition stuff that Cal fans eat that stuff up. I am one of them. You know, they have the college Ultra Boosts that are like on sale right now for like Washington and Arizona State and all those other schools. So I would love it if we can get one of those. But yeah, that is the dream.
Under 8 timeout. UCLA, they have regressed a little bit shooting wise from 3, but they're still shooting over 50%. More importantly, points in the paint. USC is now doubling up Cal. I think UCLA has 32. UCLA has 32 points in the paint. California has 14.
The Bears really have to go on like a 3-minute run right now, like starting now, to have a chance.
And Cal is hitting more threes in the second half, which is nice. I believe
more threes too.
Yeah, Bears are 5 of 8 from 3 actually in the second half, so that's been the biggest reason we're still in this.
We've taken 22 threes.
I mean, that's
and we've taken 42 shots overall.
Maury ball. It's like the crappiest version of Maury ball possible, but it's Maury ball.
Is this Maury ball?
No, I mean just jacking up threes.
Is it? Oh, Maury ball is more like one-on-one and then dropping threes. I feel
that's Harden ball. Maury's all about the 3 and just getting as many threes as possible to maximize variance.
Do you think this is more? I feel like this is more. What's it like? Mike D'Antoni basketball. It's like a pseudo like run and gun, but like
that would require a point guard, which we don't have.
Yeah, you're right.
No, this is, I think, it's basically like us, basically like March Madness underdog strategy.
Isn't this just a crappy version of that Amari Stoudemire Knicks team, like with Raymond Felton and Amari?
I was thinking more along the lines of like crappy Butler.
Crappy Butler.
Yeah, this is kind of where we are right now.
Pre Brad Stevens Butler.
No, I mean whatever Butler team. No, post Brad Stevens Butler.
Whatever Butler's team is now.
Yeah, they shoot. They attempt threes. They got some post ups, and that's their game.
It's the exact opposite of the George Mason team that made.
Mark Fox is basically playing Van Gundy ball, so it's like
without a Yao.
Without a Yao or without a Larry Johnson or whatever type of doofus he had patrolling the paint back in the 90s.
Well, depends on which Van Gundy we're talking about too.
Oh, Jeff. Because Fox and Jeff Van Gundy are they compadres.
Yeah, they're friends. Well, so, also because Jeff's dad went to Berkeley, so
Yeah, well, Jeff, Mark, I think was on his assistant staff for the US team.
For the USA team.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised that wasn't 5 seconds. Holy moly.
But yeah, this does remind me a lot of Van Gundy ball now that I'm watching it more. Just a lot of ugly offense.
There's no particularly in this game, I think the last 3 games definitely was different, but this game there's no rhythm to the offense. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish other than threes.
I mean,
it's like threes in any given way or form.
Yeah. Turnover watch. Cal is now at only 9 turnovers. No, that's UCLA.
Oh,
Cal is 12.
That's still not bad.
Yeah, best turnover game so far.
Not as bad as ASU. That was bad.
Yeah, that ruined that. We should have won that game if we just took care of the ball.
Mikhail, why would you take a tougher shot? Why would you take a more difficult shot? Why would you dribble towards the defender and then shoot over him?
My roommate's dog is objecting to this game as well. 14-point game, 5:48 left.
Come on, guys. At least
Bears running out of time.
At least just make it respectable. Like make it like within 10. Even if we lose, I'm all right with it. All right. Oh God. Oh God. Mikhail is hurt. Oh no. He is writhing in pain. No. Don't I hate showing the replays on these types of injuries.
Is his arm? Oh, it's hand.
That's his wrist. He might have just like landed on it. Yeah, I think he got it stepped on and he like landed on the wrist.
Oh, stepped on would be fine. Because that probably just means that like it's just sore or something. Ooh, no, that. Ooh.
He landed straight onto that hand.
I don't think so. I think he got jammed by like the Bruin guy.
Weren't they saying in the game they had Van Gundy? I'm sure they did.
Yeah, I remember that. He came by last year.
It's like the Cal football team having Derek Carr come and talk to them. They did. It happened.
This looks like it might have been a dislocated finger, so you might just try and pop it back in.
Ugh, painful.
Yeah, but that's most definitely preferable than whatever else it could be. That's probably the end of Foreman's night, and that's kind of unfortunate because he was bombing it
very well. What is going on with UCLA passing? And it still goes in.
So Matt Bradley has not been on the floor for almost 10 minutes.
Is he even going to come back into this game? He's just sitting on the bench watching. He's your best player. What are you doing?
The lead goes up to 14.
No, the lead goes back to 12.
I mean, I guess maybe Bradley is maybe taking too much of the offensive attention, but that really...
This is from a tactical thing as they drain a 3, so it goes back to 15. Yeah, this game's done.
I mean, they've just been trading. They've just been ping-ponging it for the last, 7 minutes or so. There hasn't really been, a tactical effort for Cal to win this game. It's just been, mitigation. Oregon State lost to Wyoming today.
For basketball?
Yeah. Stanford won by 32. Arizona only won by 3 against Eastern Washington yesterday.
What? Why is Matt sitting?
Who knows? But yeah, this game is done. I'm guessing Bradley is maybe banged up or something. They don't want to risk it, but he looks confused. Well, fun questions to ask in the postgame. Well, we can probably wrap this up pretty soon. Thoughts on the game?
This?
Yeah.
I mean, one thing's for sure is that we really aren't changing our schematics and our tactics on offense, regardless of who we play and how the game is going. So that in itself, I think, is a positive that we're not reverting back to last season's offense and trying to do something else. We're sticking by what we're trying to do this year, which is clearly making threes. And you can definitely see that when we in my article this week that'll drop on Tuesday, because I go through the comparison between our offense last year and our offense this year so far, and particularly in these 2 games. So I think that's definitely a positive for me, because one of the things we clamored for was to take more perimeter shots and to be more attack minded from that part of the court, and we're clearly that this year. It's just a matter of knocking down those shots. Reverted a little bit in this game because I think we were much better at creating open looks from outside in the last 3 games. But this one, not at all. Not at all. So yeah, those are my thoughts. What about you?
Yeah. No, I mean this was a pretty straightforward kind of thing. Not really a lot of specific things to be like that can improve. I mean, like Cal doesn't have a lot of big talent right now, so UCLA's pounded a bunch inside, and Cal doesn't have a lot of wing their defense, so they got a lot of open threes. Like I think shots that weren't falling for ASU fell for USCLA today, and we just don't have like the positional versatility to kind of like handle a lot of quick ball movement, player movement.
Yeah.
And the Bruins just were on their game today. The Cal was not. I mean, they looked sluggish to start and just kind of were overwhelmed from the opening tip.
Yeah, I mean, every one of their team members, except for 2, who only took 1 shot each, had an above 50% field goal rating or percentage in the first half, and I think that carried them basically for the rest. Because I think the amount of the rate that we're making threes in this half is like that's probably the peak of ours, except for like a supernova shooting night from beyond the arc. Like a 45 to 50 is like would be a really good shooting night. But then there's also going to be days where we shoot like what UCLA did was like shoot 70% from 3 in the first half. So beyond that, like this is kind of what I expect with the amount of threes we're taking this year to hover somewhere in total on the game. Probably around this mark, which is like the 34 to like 37% mark. UCLA is on the game right now, 57% from 3. So it's on half the attempts we've done.
Yeah, I would say that's about right. Sean says, "Did you see the UW coach bailed today?" No. Who bailed? I'm looking it up right now. I don't see anything.
Basketball? Is it Hopkins?
I mean, I heard about the sexual allegations in terms of the player as the lead goes up to 20. The Naziah Carter had to leave the program after a suspension was upheld for an investigation into sexual assault, but I didn't see anything about Hopkins leaving the program.
Maybe it was a backup coach at UW. I don't know, Sean, if you want
Yeah,
to
Shawnee guy, please elaborate. I don't know what you're talking about.
Or link a tweet or something, then we'll get to it. But yeah, I don't
Talking about Wisconsin?
The University of Wisconsin.
Because, we are a Wisconsin Badgers podcast first and foremost.
We are Wisconsin West.
On Scon. Man, this Pac-12 just turns out so many talented players and so much garbage basketball.
Bailey's 3 comes in and out. So we're just about to go to the under 1 minute mark. And the lead has ballooned back up to 22.
Yeah, we played garbage time for the last 10 minutes. So Rob and I have been like waiting for something to happen. I do like that Clonarus picked up 4 fouls in 11 minutes. That's some epic walk-on time.
I am yeah. I don't think yeah. This game wasn't just not our day. It's just one of those days where UCLA was just good from the start, and we never got a chance to really get back into it.
Yeah, Cal basically played the same game offensively they played the last 4 games.
Yep.
But we just ended up playing UCLA. So we're pretty straightforward in terms of like being able to recap this game.
We basically needed what UCLA did from 3 for us to win this game. That's
Yeah, and
basically
then they shot 57%. So
yeah.
no dice. I mean, I guess we gave up the open threes because we were like, oh, this is our best chance. Like,
Yeah,
hope they go cold.
Let them shoot. I mean, from a statistical standpoint, and if you're prepping for this team, they're not shooting that well from three. I think you live with that. But then we also gave up so many points in the paint. How many alley oops did we give up?
Yeah, we should. I mean, I don't mind that we're giving up threes. I mind that we're giving up open threes. We should be really cognizant of the fact that any team can make open threes if you don't challenge them.
Well, especially a talented team like this, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the Bruins 32 points in the paint, Cal only 16. Like Cal's just not gonna win many games if they don't like break even points in the paint. And yeah, the Bears get out rebounded 31-22. And 10 points off dunks for UCLA. So
Did Matt Bradley not play basically the last 13 minutes of the game?
yeah, he's gonna finish with 23 minutes in this game. So not sure what happened there. Wonder if Ian Fox had a tiff or something along those lines.
I don't
We'll
know.
learn more in the post game. That was a questionable decision. I guess he didn't feel like this one was in reach and just decided not to risk it. And that's it. This game is done.
And everyone
Thank
left.
God.
We only have one person watching.
I mean, would you stick around for this?
No, I just wanted to do this just for the fun of just hanging out.
Yeah, it was fun. Cal's next game is Wednesday.
Against Pepperdine, I believe. Is it Wednesday? Yeah, I think it's Wednesday.
That game is being televised too, right?
It's on CBS.
Yeah. Sports?
I think
I
CBS.
just it's like CBS primetime right next to 2.5 Men,
No, not primetime. I think it's CBS Sports Network.
followed by Young Sheldon. Cool. I think yeah,
I think we can call it. There's only one other person watching the stream right now, so
we got two. Someone
we have
showed up
two.
at the end.
All right. Well,
Well, thanks for joining. Wazoo, yeah, is down 38-6.
that game's done.
Slovis got hurt or something.
Is he
Yeah,
not playing?
Slovis. Did he get concussed? Unclear. Let me just check. Real quick before we head out. Slovis's arm. Yeah, so Slovis might have an arm injury, which would be pretty big because if UCLA upset USC, Colorado goes to the Pac-12 title game.
Oh
if
wow!
Colorado wins.
I didn't know this, but I didn't check the news today. But Gonzaga has paused all team activities due to COVID protocols 1 day after 2 positive tests within the basketball program from one player and another member of its traveling party. They will, according to the school's release, Gonzaga will not return to action until December 15th, which means the Bulldogs will cancel upcoming games against Tarleton, Southern, Northern Arizona, and Idaho.
That makes sense. I mean, none of those games are meaningful for Gonzaga. I think their next biggest game is against Iowa. They probably won't play that one.
Yep.
But I mean, Gonzaga's in the driver's seat. They dominate their conference. They're getting a 1 seed. So.
Well, all right.
Well, Cal's NCAA tournament chances are looking pretty dim right now.
Hey, they could still go on a little win streak here against the out of conference, and then maybe that leads them into better Pac-12 performances. Who knows? Keeping a little bit of optimism.
Yeah, quick update of Washington State stats. Delora 126 yards on 26 attempts, so he's averaging 4.8 yards per attempt today. So, yeah, I mean, Cal's defense, like, after dealing with like the explosiveness of Shuck, this will be a return to earth. I feel like there are some playmakers on Washington State, but this is definitely a much less explosive team than previous offensive predecessors, and they do run the ball a little bit more with McIntosh, who has done okay in this game, but I don't know. I feel like this is a good matchup for Cal, and the Bears should take advantage.
Yep. Sounds about right. We'll be back on Wednesday for the Pepperdine game, maybe. If not, we'll be back definitely for the Washington State game at 7:30 on Saturday night because it's Pac-12 football after dark.
Finally, we waited all year. We wait all year to say that. It took till December 12th.
The final game of finally scheduled game of the season. All right. Well, thanks for joining, everybody. We will talk to you later. And as always, go Bears.
Go Bears.